Come fight fans.
To the Fighters Voice Kickass Podcast.
Your Fight Talk Authority.
Not to mention the most entertaining and talked about podcast with your kick-ass host, Richard Ortiz.
You mad? Come at me, bro.
And his loyal kick-ass co-host, Senor Cole Escobedo.
Streaming live and worldwide.
Coming to you all the way live from a little place somewhere in Cali. The Fighters Voice.
Kickass Podcast.
And we're back, Fresno, California, here at Mad Production Studios, the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass Podcast, the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hand it to the co-host with the most, the UFC veteran himself, the Apache Kid. Knock out these bills, my man.
Man, what's up? I was actually just about to finish off some of this delicious salsa. But anyways,
you were tearing it up, man.
Dude, it was still, the guacamole, it's got a little spice to it, but it's got that
is.
guacamole taste. I like it, dude. Who doesn't like
And you know what they
avocados?
said? There's more where that came from.
There better be.
There is.
Because it goes
It's
fast.
Actually,
it goes fast.
you take that one when you leave.
I'm probably going to since
you
I already
probably
stuck
are.
my finger in it.
It's
So.
all good, man.
But speaking of sponsors, we got one right here, guys. Bobby Salsa or Salsa. It's good. Go check out in your grocers. Find it. It's got to be in a cold aisle somewhere. It has to be. So there's that, guys. We've also got Dr. Batista and Dr. Guzman, North Fresno Primary Care. So remember, fighters, neuro, blood work, exams, all that stuff. If you guys need that, they literally have paperwork on file. Hit them up. They'll send it off to CSAC.
And they help out with the injuries.
Yeah, exactly. So if you get a post-fight injury and you're like, man, I did this and my arm's been hurting me. Okay, well, let's take a look at it. Like you'll have a go-to kind of guy doctor you don't really have to worry about.
Yeah.
Do they know fighting? Do they not? Stuff like that. So, and we've also got Mad Production Studios, the Mad Loation. It's where we're doing all the magic guys. It's where you get the background, all the cool
And actually, let me
backgrounds.
interrupt you right there. I heard through the grapevine he has a show coming out. I don't know when it's going to drop, but it's going to be wicked. I was getting some intel, man. I better not drop dime on that. I'm going to let that man. Hey, bro, he had me in stitches, man.
Yeah?
I mean, oh my gosh.
Oh man, the
I had like
Loation doing something
I had
funny.
like a little sneak preview, man.
Oh man,
yeah, a little sneak.
I like it.
Yeah.
And as always, thumbs up for Richie Productions.
Richie, yes,
Can't wait to
sir.
see what that's going to be.
Yes.
And then speaking of sponsors, we've actually got one of our main sponsors.
And what do we call him?
We call him man.
What do we call him?
Well, I call him a kick-ass lawyer. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah. That's right.
Mr. Miles Harris Esquire is actually with us today. So hi.
Hi. Thank you for having me on the Fighter's Voice. I've been wanting to join you for some time. Been a long day today. Just wrapped up a long trial, 25 to life trial, full acquittal.
Oh, nice.
Got another victory. Got another ass kicking.
Nice. That's a prime example right there, guys. If
Exactly.
you want a hot off the presses, like we've been telling you before when we've mentioned Miles and his practice before, if you need a real lawyer, if you need real defense, you need somebody when you're really in trouble, like this is the guy that you want to hit up. This right there is just a prime example of this kind of seriousness. You're looking at a 25 to life. That's not fun, bro. That's not fun.
And sometimes, what happens, somebody gets in trouble and they assume that old adage, innocent until proven guilty. But I'll tell you, when you get in trouble, you lose that feeling real quick. You lose that feeling real quick. And so you need to have confidence in who's representing you in court, and you need to know that person has confidence to ruffle feathers when necessary.
Yeah, you need a lawyer that's not going to sit there quiet. You need him that's going to go, hold on, Your Honor, I object. Hold on, no, not even cool. You know what I mean? Like, you need somebody that's going to speak for you. You get a lot of those public defenders. They're just like, right, Okay, so where do you want them to send you?
Exactly.
Corcoran? Okay. Like, they don't even, granted, their caseloads are massively overtasked, but
Definitely.
the empathy is lost, the massive amount of empathy that you need.
You need a Fighter's Voice kick-ass lawyer. Plain and simple.
It's a fight.
Oh, 100%.
It's a fight. If you're fighting for your independence, okay, you're fighting for your physical freedom, okay, you want a fighter fighting with you. Mm-hmm. You want a corner man. Mm-hmm. How important is the corner man, okay, to a fighter?
Essential.
Of course.
Might as be as essential as the mouthpiece, man.
Absolutely.
It's to guide them and instruct them, and it's also to speak for them. Mm-hmm. When it gets really bad, okay, that man in the corner's got to speak for him too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the man in the corner for my clients. That's my job, and I take it very seriously.
No, then that's the way Richard went very, very descriptive on that
Exactly.
edge.
Remember I was telling you, I said he takes it personal. He's there to win. And he doesn't pick you up unless he knows you're going to win. And he gives you that confidence, and he lets you know your rights that you have as a human being. And you know what? he has that pride to be victorious like he was today.
Give
and
you that
go
peace
that
of
extra
mind.
mile. Exactly. Give you that peace of mind. Take the stress off you, man.
That's one of the major factors in getting through those types of scenarios, because otherwise you're
But
just
I like
stressed
what
the
he
whole
said
time.
exactly and how he compared it to fight. Because how important that corner man is and how important that preparation is. He does his homework. When the court happens, he's there, it's laid out. He did the training, the camp is done. Now it's time to complete and get that world title of freedom.
Yeah, no, dude, so many cases are either won or lost at 3 o'clock in the morning, sifting through law books, looking for precedents, looking for case law. They're won or lost because you didn't read enough. You didn't study enough. You didn't know the ins and outs of what you were dealing with and all that. Well, hold on. This happened in this year. This set this precedence for this exact example of what we're going through right now. So I have an edge or a direction to go for.
Yeah.
That's where cases are won and lost. Doing the homework, doing the research.
And not being afraid to say what needs to be said.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Court, you have to respect the process. You have to respect the environment. Okay. But I'll tell you, you heard it straight from me. It's not church. If you need to say something and it needs to be said, I'm going to say it. Okay. And a scowl from a judge, bright red nose. Okay. Even if a finger goes up pointed in my direction, if it needs to be said, it's going to get said.
Oh, yeah.
Because my job is to defend my client.
It's a lot easier to apologize to a judge than it is to say, I'm sorry, you're going to prison for life. It's way easier to apologize, say, Your Honor, I apologize, I spoke out, than it is to tell your guy I didn't say it.
Can you imagine going to sleep at night or trying to sleep at night knowing you didn't give it your best or give it your all? I say to myself all the time, no matter what I'm going through, it's my job to give the guests my best. Whatever I'm going through, I leave it in the parking lot because they've been waiting for the show. They've been dreaming about the show. They're excited about the show. So it's important that I give them my best. I say that when I ring announce because I want to make sure I give them my best. This gentleman here, make sure he gives it. He's able to sleep at night because he knows he left it all. What do we say? Leave it all in the ring. Leave it all in the cage. Leave it all in the field. Well, he leaves it all in the courthouse and then some.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a soldier being led or a lieutenant leading a soldier.
Exactly, man.
You know in battle you're gonna lose some guys, but you do your best to get them
and a kick-ass tie like that doesn't hurt either.
Hey,
Right?
strong, bold power ties, man.
Exactly, a power tie.
You gotta look the part.
You do.
Absolutely.
You gotta look.
That
the part.
is a lot. That goes a long way to relaxing your clients as well. If you come in looking like you own a mint Ferrari, Porsche, or whatever, and you just bang supermodels and you just own the courtroom, like you walk in like that makes your client feel so much more relaxed because they're like, this guy knows what the fuck he's doing. Okay,
Exactly.
breathe. You know what I mean? Like my cousin Vinny. You're not walking in like some tuxedo circus guy going, a ute. Two utes. Two utes, Your Honor.
ute.
What is a ute? Yeah. Oh, utes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
a ute.
So, versus him coming in and when he starts tearing apart the witnesses, I'm done with this one. I'm done with this one. Send that one home. You could see Ralph Macchio and his buddy or whatever. You can see the look on their faces go from just exhausted fear to we're going to be boned to, dude, we might actually be able to go home.
You actually got people talking about him. They're calling him the Perry Mason of Fresno, bro.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
You feel me on that?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a bold
him
statement.
right
I
there.
like that.
That's him, man.
That's a guy who gets shit done. I mean,
Hey.
what else are you gonna do?
Even the money team loves him because he's undefeated.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
he threw a Mayweather one in there.
You had to, man. You got to mix it in there like
So
that.
how long have you been practicing?
I've been practicing for over 10 years.
All Valley, all.
I moved to Fresno in late 2011.
Okay.
And pretty much what happened, I was the new guy in town. Nobody knew, nobody kind of knew me, and I kind of stayed in the shadows. It wasn't my goal to put all my business out there. It was my goal to handle my business.
Yeah, exactly.
But not put all my business out there, and my work spoke for itself. So what ended up happening is victory upon victory. Your marketing budget doesn't have to be that much if your reputation precedes you.
Yeah.
And so that's what I relied upon to get where I'm at today. And in part kind of that little bit of roughness that we talked about. A lot of attorneys may feel kind of bound by relationships, may feel kind of bound by a certain level of decorum. And I have that respect. I have that respect for the law. I invested in my education. I put in the time. But at the same point in time, you know, I'm willing to push up against that edge. Okay, I'm willing to push up against that edge and do whatever it takes.
Yeah, and that you'd be surprised how far that goes with like some judges. Like some judges know that if you speak
This guy
up,
does a thorough job.
oh yeah,
Plain and simple. You
And
know, like when you get your car detailed and,
Oh,
and you know
yeah.
when the air comes out, they didn't touch it in there. No, he gets it all
get
in
the
there.
Q-tip in there, probably pulled the
Exactly.
panel off and got a rag in there.
Exactly.
But it's a lot of judges will respect that, like provided you know what you're doing. There's so many times a guy will go, "Oh, I object. On what ground?" Well, blah. He's like, "Shut up, stop. Oh, it's overruled. Move on." You know. And versus when a guy actually has a coherent sentence to follow up his objection with, and it's a quick one, it's articulate, and and the judge has to go, "Hold on a sec," because then the judge actually has to stop and think about it. They start to respect that. They're like, if you say objection, you probably have a really goddamn good reason for it, which means I probably missed something. That tells judges, that builds that respect.
When he goes to court and they see his name up there, you know, like when you go to a tournament, you're like, "Oh man, this fucking dude's in it." Mm-hmm. Oh, damn.
You get the
Is
day's
he in my-
proceedings and
is he in my
hearings?
bracket? When he goes to court and they see his, they go, "Oh my god."
Oh yeah, you get to look at all the lawyers and all the case and the judges. You're just like, "Oh fuck, I pulled him."
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, all right. Well, we can convict somebody else today, I guess. You know, it's like they have, and you know they do.
Yeah.
You know the DAs have a docket. They've got their list, and before they even do it in the fucking elevator, he's sitting there. I watch him. They'll go, "We can push that one. We can cut."
Do you
that one
have
here,
that
let's
out there?
cut this."
Is there ever that attorney that says, "Okay, let's dance, let's go," because he admires your work and he may be a badass like you too and good at his job? Does he ever continue to push? And you know now he's taking it personal, as of where he should maybe just yield a little bit.
You can see that, and I love that. I love that.
I bet you do.
I love that because because personal is going to get you into trouble.
Yeah, it's a distraction.
Personal is going to get you into trouble, and you know, hate me or like me, I'm going to do my job. And shoot, man, I have friends that are DAs, okay, and I think there's that mutual respect. But if it gets to a point that you hate me, that's going to get in your way, and I'm going to be all over you.
Yeah, and then and it's also your own fault because I'm doing my job.
That's what I'm
you
talking
do
about.
your job. I'm not trying to like motherfuck you out of your job. It's just my job is to protect my client's rights and his freedom. I will do that as to the extent I can.
Don't get upset because I do my job well.
Exactly.
Well, and here's the other thing. Okay, heaven forbid. I think it's really hard for most DAs to put themselves in the shoe of an accused.
I would imagine it's hard for them to be empathetic.
Very hard. I mean, some people would argue that there's a certain kind of person that goes into the DA's office.
Personality traits.
Not 100%, not to stereotype, but sometimes there's a model of person that goes in the DA's office. So it's very hard for them, oftentimes, to put themselves in the seat of the accused, and that's something that I try and put both to my judge and my jury, even a judge. Okay, I respect them; they wear the robe, but they need to remember they could be sitting in that seat too. And and if they're approaching the case from that standpoint, it'll make them more attentive, and it'll make them more reasonable. If they are not, if that thought hasn't crossed their mind, like, hey, let me put this robe on him for a second and go sit down there, okay, then that's not fair to my client.
No objectivity out of it. Yeah, that's the whole point of being a judge. Is you're basically supposed to be Switzerland. You're supposed to be fucking Switzerland and go, you present the case, you present the case. I will decide between the two of you. And he has to be as fucking Switzerland as he can, man, as neutral as possible. So, but with the empathy part is, for the DAs, sometimes I look at it and I can see that I think their concern is if I start to empathize a little and go, man, Rich, you seem like a really good father and a really good family man. I know you really didn't mean to fucking drink and drive like that. I know you didn't mean to do it. You get what I'm saying? Like, they'll know, and you'll be like, I was 2 blocks from the house. I had to be up at 6 a.m. I needed 4 hours of sleep. I had to have the car there so I can get, the kids to school in the morning. I was it was just 2 blocks. They start to empathize with that. All of a sudden, they don't punish the lawbreakers across the board the way they should equally.
But I think a funny tidbit though too is this. Before I came into the practice I'm in now, I worked in a DA's office before.
Okay, so you
I worked in a DA's office.
So you know their thought process.
Before, briefly, and then also even at one point in time, I considered a law enforcement track.
okay.
A federal law enforcement track at one point in time, and prepared for that, and went through some levels of that hiring process. And so the funny joke that I kind of throw out there sometimes, okay, to DA or law enforcement that we may encounter in the mix, as well as I tell them, man, I tried. You guys didn't want me, you know. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. It's a proactive mindset, though.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried, and so we still get to see each other. We just get to trade some blows.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah,
There you go.
it's like guys fighting each other
Yeah.
and then having drinks together after the fight.
Absolutely.
Like, it's a job.
We talked about Julio Cesar Chavez and Hector Camacho after that big war
Yeah,
and
yeah,
build up,
yeah.
and they're homies.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it right in front of me.
Yeah, it's a job.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
But that's class.
Yes, that is. And that's
class.
respect.
And that's a different level. That's a different level of fighter altogether. That reminds me back when I used to play rugby. Back when I was. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But you'd go out there and beat the hell out of each
Oh,
other
yeah.
for however many hours with no breaks and no pads, and then you'd meet up at the bar.
Oh yeah.
And it was like nothing. It was like nothing happened.
Yeah.
It was a shared camaraderie. We just happened to be on different teams, but we both fucking love rugby.
I think they did it, and they just loved the ending.
Yeah.
Meet at the bar.
I was like, we'll play, right? We
That's
get to
a
go
big
drink
part.
after,
We'll
right?
keep
Each other's
part of
ass for a little
rugby.
while.
Right?
Yeah, big part of rugby.
Right,
Man.
big bug rug. I like
Big
that.
part of rugby. You know what? I got to pick your brain on this, man. I know you're an MMA fan. I know you're a boxing fan. Jose Ramirez coming to Fresno February 10th, man. You'll probably have the best seat in the house, which is okay to be at home and watch it on ESPN too, man.
Of course. Ramirez is a fabulous fighter. Okay, I've been ringside. I've been to his fights, and he puts on a show. And he is also a great human being. He's a great person. He's a
He's
great
always been
person.
really cool when I met him.
Yeah, he's very cool, man. I mean, he's down to earth, and the future's bright for him.
Definitely. From what I've seen.
Yeah. Talking about not being so bright right now, name two fighters right now that you were just talking about, Cole, that are going to be on the shelf for a little while.
Well, okay, so here's the funny part about that. So you've got the Khabib and Conor incident. They got their
And I'm sure you're familiar with that, going over the fence and going over the cage.
So this is their. They finally got their hearing at the Nevada State Athletic Commission hearing. Decided basically what their punishments were going to be. Which, mind you, any punishments that were handed out are usually retroactive. They're usually retroactive back to the date of the incident itself, and says, well, 6 months from that date, because it's been how long since that happened?
Yeah. Right.
You're now affecting their ability to make money if you continue it without proactivating it. So Khabib got like some goofy year-long suspension, like a 12-month suspension of some kind. Conor got I think 3 months and like a $50K fine. I'll tell you exactly what it was. Yeah, Conor got Conor got nothing. Conor got some teeny tiny little punishment fine, and then it was nothing. It was like a $500,000 fine for Khabib. And a lot of people were like, oh, that's not fair. That's too much. And then I was like, okay, yes, it's a lot. But he was also the flint that lit that match. Like that whole series of events that led to Conor taking a swing at someone, so-and-so's teammates, so-and-so, all that was dominoed by Khabib. He looked, pointed. You could literally go, and all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that shit hit the fan, because
he just didn't know when to turn it off, man.
Yeah,
but that's easier to say, because you as a fighter, it never turns off. Like you said, you just got to control it.
You have to know when it's prudent. When is it smart to give into that mentality? So I mean, now granted, would something have probably happened backstage? Fuck yeah. I'm almost confident backstage, because they're in close proximity at that point. Yeah, fuck your mother and this and that. It was gonna happen no matter what. But it was Khabib that did it in that on that format, on that platform. So that's why he got the hefty suspension. Now that's the Athletic Commission was saying, do this PSA thing, which we were talking about that yesterday, this anti-bullying PSA thing, which I think is fucking great.
Yeah.
I think they listened, to be awesome. I think they listened. Like when I was telling them, take the money, donate it to something, have them do some kid spot charity about, it was something we talked about. We got to pull up that segment and talk about what we covered. But dude, but that is the same thing. So do an anti-bullying segment and they'll cut your suspension to 6 months.
Yeah.
I like it and I hate it. I get that they're getting something out of him. Khabib, how's he going to do an anti-bullying thing? What he did has nothing to do with bullying. I mean, well, I guess in a sense, Cole, it does. So I guess some people are going to watch it and go, well, it does because they were saying this about you.
They're going to say, don't throw your mouthpiece at somebody.
Well, they're going to say, don't give in to the he said, she said stuff. Don't let people be a bully to you. Don't let them get don't let them say things to you and get you riled up, which I get it, but that wasn't really a bullying scenario. No. That was like two shaken pit bulls getting close to each other. And
it's in the fighting environment.
Exactly.
It's in the fighting environment. So it's a little bit of a balance of that too. It certainly crossed the line. That's why we're where we're at with it.
Exactly.
But it's within the fighting environment too.
Yeah, so you got to have a little bit of understanding.
And see, the scale was uneven. You said Khabib, it was drastic, right?
Yeah, it's like 500K.
And then Conor, right?
Yeah.
Well, see, you know exactly what happened, where he messed up. Well, Khabib jacked up because he didn't hire this motherfucker right here.
No,
and it would have been no. Listen, it would have been a wrap. There would have been even scale right here.
Man, I would love to see.
He would have went in there, Las Vegas, Nevada. Dana White would have said, back off, and he goes, I got this, took care of it. Khabib would have got a little spanking on the hand, and he'd probably been on the show with us.
There needs to be explanations sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Totally.
And there needs to be explanations, and there's something to be said that not everybody knows how to explain away things.
Agreed. The verbal judo is a lost art on getting what you want in life.
And this whole incident was not very good verbal judo.
No.
It got him into trouble.
Yeah.
There was no judo to the verbal.
That's
the problem.
That whole concept went out the window the second Khabib made eye contact and said, I see you, motherfucker. Like that was it, dude. It was it.
It's on. Those eyes were red.
So I can get the justification of it because he should have taken a little more hefty of a fine. I would have said more like $250,000. Like, hey, he gets a $50K fine because Conor screwed up too. He was involved in that. Yeah. But
$500,000.
Well, I would have said like $250,000, like $250K.
Yeah.
That would have been a substantial. That would have been a huge spanking. So, well, granted, he made millions, so I don't know. Maybe it is like 10% of what he made because they came up with that $500K for a reason. That number came from somewhere. It wasn't just
exactly.
Throw darts at a wall. It was a percentage.
But you know what's made and what's take home are two different things too. Though.
True, and that's what I'm saying is he probably cleared that $5 million area. If they took $500K, they looked at numbers and said, okay, well you made like 5.1. We're gonna fine you $500,000. You get the 10% and you fine, pay it. So he'll be back. He'll do the PSA. It'll retroactive at 6 months, and I think Mikey was saying that puts him around like February. Like it's gonna be like right around soon. So he'll be able to fight soon. So the belt's not going to get on the shelf too long. They'll defend. I don't know who's going to fight what, but the weirdest thing that came out of all of this that I've read in the articles that have come out of it, the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the chair Anthony Marnell was noted as being clearly unhappy with the repeat incidences, the smack talking, this and that. He wants to help clean that up. And I'm like, okay, I can. Exactly. I thought, it's never going to fucking happen. Never. But I can get.
The Thriller Manila, Muhammad Ali against Joe Frazier when he held up the gorilla over and over again. It's just not going to stop.
How?
It's promotion. It sells fights.
Exactly.
You just got to know, did he cross the line? Promoters don't give a damn. Did you fill the seats? Did the pay-per-view
And that's the best part.
It's called promotion.
The fight had already happened.
Yes.
That was like the best part about that thing is Dana White was just going, oh, fuck, wait, okay, the fights are over. It don't matter. Yeah, go whatever, go ahead, go crazy.
Yeah.
Because the show's over already.
Yeah.
Fights have already happened. So I can get, because here's the thing. He probably wants to do it from a sense where they can give some cleanup to the sport, some notoriety, some mainstream. It's like, dude, how more fucking mainstream do you think it's going to get? It's on ESPN. Yeah. They no longer have Fox announcers. They now have what's-his-face that was on there with Mike Arnett and all those guys and Cormier doing it. So it's like, it's there. Mm-hmm. This whole, Dana White knows it. That's why they sold it. It had already hit mainstream. Mm-hmm. It had peaked as far as the global exposure they can get for the product. And all they're doing at that point is now we're just saturating the market. what's going to happen is you're going to see a change of the product itself. It's already got a saturated market. Now we just start changing it just a little.
But name for me a fighter. Some are more quiet. Some are more let my acts speak for themselves. But still, name for me a fighter that doesn't smack talk. That doesn't smack talk, and I'm saying at all.
Well, I mean,
I wanted to say Habib until he jumped over the freaking.
well, now
cage,
that's a
right?
good thing. Is
Right?
most don't. Like you take Donald Cerrone for example. He'll be drinking a beer in an interview. We were giving him a question, being like, talk about so and so, and he'll have totally missed who they were talking about. And they'll be like, so would you fight him at 55? He drink a beer, be like, yeah. Who are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, it's not, like, Cerrone doesn't usually smack talk. He just goes, yeah, I've been watching some film. Dude's got a mean fucking laugh. I can't wait to bang with him. Like, it's going to be a good fight. We're co-main event for a reason. I'm fucking cowboy. Why do you think? No fight is an easy fight for me. That would be his answer. So he doesn't really like smack talk. He just gets in and just fucks you up.
Yeah.
And everybody else, they'll smack talk. It's like, I think I've seen him come back at somebody like once or twice because they like started to
that
personally.
Connor. He came at
They
Connor.
like started to personally say something, or they disrespect like the whole weight class. He's like, you come up here, I'll fucking slap your ass back down to 35s. You know what I mean? Like, So he doesn't really do it, but it's a good debatable topic of how many don't really do that. And it's almost like a namesake that you need that kind of mouth almost to get some brand, to separate yourself from I've seen tons of great fighters and you just don't talk.
Well, the emperor don't talk too much.
They just don't talk.
Yeah.
They just fight. They don't talk. The fights aren't really that exciting, but they win. And it's like, man, you're a hard product to sell, bro. You're like a girlfriend who doesn't get head.
Like
You're
Chael don't talk.
Yeah.
No, that guy's a talking machine, the
I know,
American
bro.
gangster. But you know what? You got to love it, though. It's entertainment.
It has to be. If you even start in boxing or MMA or pretty much I think any sport at this point in the world, it could be fucking NASCAR. If you're stepping in, it could be birdies.
Yeah.
If you're going in there and you're not like, I'm the best fucking birdie player that's ever been on the planet. Fuck you, Scott Wilson. It's like, dude, they're 9. It's like, it's like, well, you have to be a little exuberant or you're not going to brand, you're not going to market, you're not going to sell.
That comes to self-promotion.
Exactly.
Constantly.
Exactly. It has to. It almost has to happen to an extent, or you're gonna miss the boat.
And you're gonna build two sides of fans: ones that love you and ones that are showing up to see you get knocked out.
Exactly.
True.
But now you got two sides of fans instead of just one.
Double the ticket sales.
Exactly.
That's
marketing, man.
So I don't think the chair is going to have a good time pitching that at all, and everyone's just going to the Diaz brothers alone to be like, "How many are you going to find me? Okay, fuck you. That's $250 right there, right?
Yeah.
So that's $500,000, right?
Yeah.
Nate, come here. You got 2 hands too. How about $1 million?
Exactly.
Fuck it. They don't care because at the end of the day, what are you going to do? You really going to go knock on the Diaz's doors and go, Nate, you owe us $500,000. Yeah, come on inside. Come get it. I got it right here next to the couch. Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm sending the canine in first. You fucking bet your ass.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
So I don't get it. The fines are okay. It's all a big hoopla. They're just trying to stay in the media, really, to be honest. The athletic commission hearing was going to be a cinch as far as them knowing they were going to get some suspensions, and that was going to be it. It's all retroactive. It's going to be done.
I do want to say this, man. You pulled a Conor McGregor. You predicted something. It came to pass. It came to fruition. It happened. And see, the fighter's voice, we put things together. I don't know if you got that queued up right now. Are we going to pass that up later on? So will we be watching the monitor and they'll watch it? You know what? I want you to take a look and listen to this right here and enjoy this right here. We'll take a look at the monitor.
How close did we get?
Well, we'll see right now.
We'll see. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hey, and he would say, that's as smooth as my tongue, a silver laddie. And that's exactly what he would say. So, but he's in court for that, so don't wig out, guys. He didn't do anything to me. That's just what that is. But his ass is on the line, as is Khabib's, on Monday the 10th. Come Monday, they got to roll their butts back up to SAC and stand before the hearing and find out what's gonna happen. Like, this is, hey, we decided this is gonna happen. No, so they're gonna find out, and like I said, I'm calling it now. Nothing bad's gonna happen. You're going to see probably a decent fine. Right. You're going to see maybe some suspension time, and that's going to be about it. My big question is going to be, once they decide, once CSAC hands down a suspension of some kind, CSAC has now, okay, it's like, OJ got away with murder, right? Mm-hmm. Got the pantsuit off him in civil court for all kinds of other things like wrongful death, negligence, things like that. And they lost. But the problem is, once CSAC says you're suspended, that now totally justifies any civil suits that could be waiting because it's like, well, CSAC said you did wrong,
You did wrong. We got a lawsuit.
Yeah.
So I'm more interested in what's going to happen after. There's going to be so much more money at stake. People are going to be like, no, I want millions.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be able to corner my guys again.
You're even going to have some fans in the crowd stepping up and say, because of that, I'm not the same. I
Oh,
can't talk
yeah,
the same. I
dude.
can't talk the same.
I'll never go to another MMA event. I'm traumatized
Exactly.
for life. You know,
Exactly.
the snowflakes.
Yeah,
So, but you're going to get people that are going to try to take a chunk of it, a piece of it, anywhere they can. People are greedy. People want to be attentive. They want to say, oh, look at me. So, but there's so much money that's going to get. That's my big picture. This whole athletic thing, it's going to be at best.
Yeah.
And they're going to go back to making money because that's how we make money.
Well, the whole thing is, the crazy part is as soon as they get spanked in the hand, they'll make an announcement. Oh, I'll be fighting in 2 weeks, guys.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
want in 2 weeks from now, brother, they'll be announcing.
Or they're
going
going to have to like donate a big ass chunk of their
Absolutely.
purses to like charity or something.
Well,
And they're going to get off with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That like community service. Get back to this is what we're doing to make amends for causing our fans. Like our art spilled out into your entertainment and it shouldn't have. We're sorry. Here.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I look, and I think they're going to get back in the cage together.
Those two?
Yeah,
Nah.
I think so.
No.
You don't think they'll fight again?
No.
Really, you don't think they'll fight again? Well, you heard it from me. I beg to differ. They will fight
Too
again.
much money to not fight.
The next time they fight will be and only if Connor's won at least 2 fights. Khabib's at least defended it once. Because you got to think of the economics.
Connor's
They
will have
got to
to
make
too.
money off Khabib. There's no interest in Khabib McGregor 2 right now. There's none. Nobody's even asking for
Because
it.
everybody knows how they go.
They saw that ass whooping that he took, and they're like, dude, you clearly were not ready for that fight. You're not mentally ready. Like, your head's not right. To have a rematch, your head's not even going to be close to right.
Okay, when it happens, we're going to bring it up. I'm say, cool, remember I told you so.
You want to put an over-under on it?
No, I'm not going to do that, dude. You still owe me a steak.
Where I'm from, California, blowing no cookies or I might got grapes. Ain't no stress, now you already know we got shake. We pass that to the OGs who smoke that shake. Now understand this, boys.
Who made that?
Wow.
That was awesome.
Awesome.
That was awesome, dude.
Mad Production Studio, baby, the fighter's
I got
voice.
my Thug Life cat video. That was awesome. No, but it's
You got some
like we
echo
said,
on him. There, we're good. Yeah, we're
It was
good.
gonna be-
Oh, you
it was just
deserve
gonna-
the echo because you were
Yeah.
wearing the crown.
It was just going to be fines, little suspensions. Now, watch. Now, in like a week, all of a sudden, they're going to announce like a title defense maybe for Khabib because they have to get it going. The weight class has been on stall. Everyone's just kind of been going, so is he going to lose his belt? What happens? Now, if they had suspended him for like 2 years, even retroactive that shit, that's a year and a half. At that point, Dana White and them would come in and say, we're going to go ahead and strip you from the belt because you can't defend it in a year's time.
Well,
now.
you got the new law, and it's called the new rule. It's called the Jones Rule in law. Because that guy just keeps coming back. He's like freaking Jason now, man. He actually should come in with a Jason mask, like Michael Myers type. I mean, nothing just touches him, man. I mean, you can hit and run. You can smoke weed in front of the police officer, and you'll be fighting next month for the bout. It's just the way it goes,
He
man.
makes too much money for too many people.
Yeah.
He did. Okay, prime example.
Yeah.
I told you we saw the
Yeah.
best Alex
Yeah.
we were ever gonna see.
Yeah.
Jones
Yeah, you're
saw
right.
and beat him close. Beat him. The next time it wasn't even gonna be a contest.
No, man.
Because he just keeps getting better.
I think he should go up to heavyweight. Who's there for him?
The thing is, okay, at this point, I think if he were to go up,
You almost
got to
create
he wants
one.
to fight somebody. There's somebody
Yeah.
he wants to fight. Other than that,
I would
that's a
agree.
risky market. Like the light heavyweight categories, those are dangerous waters to be bouncing around in, dude. Because you got some dangerous cats that you take the wrong fight a weight class
Well,
up.
if you really want to test your skills, I mean, he's
Now, okay,
dominating people,
then
man.
the question comes in: at what point do you stop wanting to test yourself as a combatant, and you just want to make as much money as an entertainer? There's a difference there.
One, he wants to fight Daniel Cormier again.
He does, definitely.
Two, Daniel Cormier is the heavyweight champion of the world. I mean, it's written right
It's
there.
undeniable, yeah.
It's written
I
right
think
there.
DC will retire before he gives him that fight, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
I agree.
I think DC will fight Brock fucking Lesnar, Dick Sword,
Oh, yeah.
before he did.
Have you seen him? He looks like shit, and he's off the juice.
Who, Brock?
Yes, Brock.
How old's Brock now?
It doesn't matter. He's off
Well,
the
it kind of
juice.
does, because when you come off the TRT and you're at a certain age
Yeah.
point, your body's not really
Well,
producing it that
Chael
much.
said it best. He said, you only hit puberty one time in your life. How the hell are you going to look like that again at this age, at 40 plus, and you're still freaking shredded like that?
Without HGH and TRT, stuff like that, like your body needs it at a certain point because it just stops producing it. It's just the way it is.
Talking about needing, man. You were in the courtroom 12 hours just kicking ass, man. So what do you need when you get home? Just a nice little glass of wine, relaxation, reboot yourself, or You just love it because you're a competitor. I can see it in your eyes from the first time that I met you. I mean, you love and you take pride in what you do, and you're good at it.
Whiskey, man.
You know, honestly, it depends on if I'm going home or I'm going out to celebrate with the guys.
Okay.
If I'm going
I like
home,
the second one.
Amen to that. And even the family benefits when Dad goes out and celebrates with the guys.
Okay, I heard.
Okay.
Okay,
But-
I'm sure they do.
But if you know if I end up going home because it's such a high charged atmosphere, okay, similar to the ring, you know, I get home, I generally have to have a few minutes, and my kids, my loved ones, everybody knows I'm probably untouchable for at least 10 minutes.
Yeah, because you have to disconnect your brain from everything, the mode set, the mindset, the traction, the speed, the processing power that you're working on. You have to slow, like you can't just stop. You switch emotions like going from hot to cold water. It's not good.
Well, and here's the thing. It's quick to learn. It's a quick learn when you don't give Dad that time.